morning, everybody. We are back with the continuation of the grand adventure after a small hiatus.
Just a small one.
Just a small one. When last we left our intrepid adventurers, Horatio had teleported you all back to his lovely abode after defeating the demigod Uranus.
Which was super easy peasy, right?
Super easy peasy.
Yeah, it's like I totally didn't spend that entire fight held in place.
Horatio was obviously MVP.
Yeah, clearly. I was the emotional.
Yeah.
Upon returning to your lovely abode, you were greeted by one of your messengers, who usually does courier work, but he seemed very distraught, and informed you that orcs appeared to be attacking the outskirts of your lands.
Alright.
Thank you for the beds.
So, let me think. So, I believe one of my sons is the captain of the guard, Timothy, because he's the oldest.
Correct.
He's the captain of my, militia. Alright, well, go get Timothy, go gather the rest of the guard, and go gather the guard and go send them out to the front, wherever the front is, wherever these orcs are coming from. Also, before you do that, come with me to my study and mark on the map where they are in my land so I can come and deal with them myself. Yes, this is going to be a problem. Because of course it is. So, Mr. Brudrin, Miss Grum, would you like to help me go kill some orcs?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Grum is not gonna turn down a fight.
Okay, well first
Grum?
we're gonna get some information
Uh,
from my scouts.
the scout, or the courier also informed you and, brought you a tattered banner, and Grum, you had immediately recognized it as your old clan. More specifically, you recognized the leader of that clan as
Is it the one that I was originally in?
Yes, it is the one you were originally in. You recognize that it's the personal symbol of Azag Harrip.
Oh no! Well, Grum is gonna just lunge towards the courier, right? He's just gonna lunge towards the courier and just snatches the banner straight from his hand.
Ah! Take it! Don't hurt me!
She's just a little. She doesn't understand nice.
Well,
Fine.
Start tearing up the freaking banner.
I'm gonna make my way to Grum and say, Grum, what's happening? Are you okay?
And then while I'm tearing the banner, I start eating it too.
Yeah.
I just start eating it and I go in a rage.
Right, then, Grum, we're going to go get them tomorrow. I need to rest and prepare because they're attacking people. What's the messenger's name? Because I'm sure I would know.
The messenger's name is Carl.
If anything, they're probably a few days away, and I need to know where they are, Grum, so I can take us there. Also, we're going to pick up an old friend of mine. It's just a day. I'm going to need your help anyway. We're also going to go pick up an old friend of mine who owes me a couple favors. Named Shirak.
Now, Grum, you also, thinking about it, you also noticed something kind of odd about all this once you calmed down from your frenzy of tearing the banner a new one.
Eating pieces of it.
Yeah, once all the tiny little pieces are gone and you've eaten them all in tiny shreds, you realize your old clan wasn't big enough to wage an entire war. Like, they would raid places, sure, but they wouldn't hit multiple places at a time. You know there were, like, other orc clans kind of around?
But they weren't, like, united.
They weren't united, and they typically hate each other.
Something's changed. So, Carl, like I said, go get Timothy, have him get the militias together, put out a call to arms. Also, go mark on my map in my study where these orcs are, like the largest concentration of them. And let Timothy know that I'll be bringing Shirak with me, and some other specialty troops, I guess you could call them.
They got stronger.
Is that all right, Carl? Can you take care of that for me?
Yeah, I'll go do that right away. Just
Right, well,
he kind of like comes up as he's like passing by. Just please keep her away from me. I don't want to die.
Carl, we're gonna point her at the other orcs.
Oh, good. Okay.
And if it makes you feel any better, Carl, we just got done killing a god, so pretty
that
sure
doesn't.
that orcs aren't going to.
That doesn't make me.
Orcs aren't going to be too big a problem.
That doesn't make me less scared of her.
No,
this is weird. They're not supposed to be this strong.
Well, they've been getting more organized the last couple of years.
What? But Grum remembers they've been kicking each other's butt.
Well, I don't know.
Never like anyone.
Well, for now, I need to rest and prepare. And like I said, we're going in the morning. We're going to go get Shirak, who's a friend of mine, and he'll be most useful. And then we're going to go pay the orcs a visit. So is Carl first going to my study and putting down where they're coming from?
He's placing all the like locations that they've hit so far. At least that he's aware of, because remember he's been kind of, running.
Alright, so for tonight I'm going to offer Brudrin and Grum obviously my hospitality, food. I'm going to spend the night having messengers come in and sending out little notes to places. I am going to send somebody specifically to Shirak's Grove, telling him that I'm going to be popping in the morning. Since I know where he is, I can teleport to him.
And that you request his aid.
Yes, and I'm going to be needing his help.
Yep.
That way he understands it, so... We'll all have a nice, tense dinner with what my family is around here.
Meat.
Yeah,
Meat.
There's meat.
Lots of meat.
Just bring her like a half a cow.
Just bring her the cow.
Just
And then I look at Horatio with renewed eyes because he's giving me half a cow.
Only.
Well, that's still more than I can get from the inn.
Well, I would give you a whole cow, my dear, but there's a diet. You can have plenty more cow later. I have lots of food.
Grum doesn't need to eat at the dining room. If you have the whole cow, I can just eat wherever you had it.
Grum, are you going to share that cow with me?
Sure.
Yeah, just bring the half the cow to the dining.
We're gonna need all our strength so we can beat those no good. Still
Yes.
strange that they'll be helping each other. They're not like that before.
Well, how long has it been since you've been there?
It's probably only been like a year or two, Grum, because you set out on this like
It hasn't been that long.
fairly shortly before this.
Gone like maybe 10 months, like about a year. It shouldn't be They haven't been friendly to each other for so many years when I was growing up with them.
Now, there is one thing that you kind of remember. At least them talking about before. Because most of the orcs that you knew were obviously power-hungry, just greedy little SOBs. And they valued power over everything. You know that they talked about that there were war chiefs that banded them together before, but you know that it takes someone who is really, really strong to even remotely corral these people.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell them that. I'm probably gonna say that more than likely they found someone that they really look up to at this time. That's someone that's that strong and
Either someone they look up to or someone they're terrified
and
of.
probably smart too. Probably smart enough to be able to get them all together. And then now Grum's gonna start to realize maybe it's not gonna be that easy, especially if someone, whoever is uniting this clan, it's not gonna be like your normal orc. And I'm gonna share that. I'm gonna share that view with the party.
Be that as it may, I'm tired of the orcs invading my lands anyway, and they're trying to push in probably further into the kingdom. And as the protector and lord in this area, I deal with them, and at this point...
Of course I'm not gonna tell you to not deal with them.
Oh no, at this point, Grum, I'm
I'll
just
deal
going...
with you. Yes. But first, the cow.
The cow.
Brudrin,
The cow!
let's go feast on cows.
The cow.
Let's feast.
Alright. Alright, so I guess we're just gonna eat dinner. I'm gonna get everything organized, and then I'm gonna go to bed, so in the morning I can teleport to Shirak's.
You were sending a missive to him, yeah? Like,
Yeah.
some type of letter? Okay.
Yeah, he's probably not more than 8 to 12 hours, I'd say, probably away from me.
Probably not.
Because I doubt it's more than 2 days ride to get to the edge anyway. And I've got him. I put him somewhere secluded so he doesn't get bothered.
So
I don't need him getting stabby on people.
yeah, while you guys are eating and drinking and being generally merry, Shirak, you're sitting in your humble little abode, probably just enjoying a moderate meal from your stocks, when there's a knock on your door. Which is fairly odd because usually nobody comes out to see you.
True. Alright, I'm gonna get up and draw my weapon. It just sort of comes into being. It's like a black obsidian blade that just slides forth, and shadows just seem to drip off of it and onto the floor, dispersing.
Ooh.
And I'll inch closer to it, listening.
I like this guy already.
Alright, you open the door, I'm guessing just a little bit.
Well, I'm listening at the door.
Oh, you're listening at the door?
Yeah. Okay, now my sword's going through the door.
Well, shit, that's...
What do you want?
Mr. Shirak?
What do you want?
Lord Horatios sends word. I have a letter for you.
I'll withdraw the sword. Push the door open.
He kind of is standing way back with arm out with the letter. Just you almost got me.
Extend this black scaled hand towards it. Roll it up.
Hey, he kind of lets it go. Alright, I'll be on my way now.
Grab it. You do that, lad. You do that.
And he just books it.
Alright, we'll shut the door behind me and we'll take a gander over this.
It appears to be a letter from Lord Horatio. He says he'll be coming to retrieve you in the morning and to prepare your effects.
Retrieve me. Shake my head. A long sigh, and I'll walk over to my plate mail and start looking over it and buffing it out a little bit. Preparing for the next day.
All right.
Oh. So yes, you all finish drinking and being merry. Shirak is preparing his effects and probably resting. And morning comes.
All right. Get breakfast. It'll be the other half of the cow.
No, remember we ate the whole cow. Me and Brudrin.
Yeah,
Oh well, we'll bring up a pig this time.
a whole pig. Pig,
There
pig,
you
pig.
go, just a whole pig.
Honey glazed ham.
There you go.
So yes, in the middle of you eating, one of your scouts does return and kind of comes up for you and just kneels and is waiting.
What's the report, son?
Yes, my lord. It appears that the closest army to us would be raiding on the Dell. Or at least that appears to be their next target. It's roughly...
Nothing over there.
There's farmland. Maybe they're trying to weaken the overall spot. None of their attacks seem to have any type of rhyme or reason other than to cause chaos and destruction, my lord.
Fantastic. Send someone to the capital just in case I can't.
Send someone to the capital, what?
And let them know what's going on, just in case something goes wrong.
Yes, my lord.
Well,
You kinda-
everyone ready to go meet my old, I guess you'd call him Ward, Shirak.
Can we trust him?
Oh, you can trust him. I've known him for quite a while. He was a warrior of my grandfather, but things occurred in his past, and he's trying to deal with it.
Where's Malik?
Malik is kind
Now
of...
it's probably just quietly doing things.
He is very, very reserved right now, which is uncharacteristic for him.
Isn't he supposed to be like we're leaving him to get better too?
Yeah, I was actually going to tell him he's staying here.
Fine.
Well, Malik, I was going to ask you to stay here and keep an eye on things for me if you can.
I suppose I could do that.
I'm gonna place my hand on Malik's shoulder. Get better, Malik. So that way soon you can come with us in battle.
He kind of places his hand on your hand. I'll do what I can, Grum.
And I pat his shoulder one more time, and then I'm gonna turn to Ray. Let's go. We're wasting daylight. We got orcs to pound.
And peace.
All right, I'm gonna gather everyone around. So, since I know where Shirak is, the teleport should not have a problem.
Go ahead and roll it since you don't have the actual like piece from it. just in case.
No, it's.
Please don't roll badly and then you teleport us to somewhere else.
No, I'm fine.
Yeah, he's
It's
fine.
above 25.
Yeesh.
He's very, very fine.
Now
So,
I
yes.
am going to make sure we appear slightly in front of his home.
So you cast the teleportation, you get everybody gathered around. The energy seems to kind of like crackle around you, and a giant circle just forms underneath all of you, and light just emanates, and suddenly you're out in the middle of... It kind of looks like someone burned the entire countryside, and there's just a shack in the middle of it.
What?
Yeah, he had an incident with a dryad.
You sure we can trust the person?
I'm sure. Believe me, Grum, the orcs will not be pleased to deal with him.
That's good to know.
I'm just gonna walk up and knock on the door and go, "It's Horatio!"
Hear the thump, thump, and slow creaking of the door open. Do I owe some more taxes now or something?
No, actually, Shirak. I need your help.
Yeah, I saw the missive.
Oh, let me guess, you're upset because I wrote it all noble-like, right? I'm coming to retrieve you.
Not some object.
No, you're not, but I'm trained to write things a specific way.
You're trained to write like an asshole. You get that from your father, you know that. Anyway, come in. Forgive me for not putting out the red carpet for you.
Grum, Brudrin, meet Shirak.
Hey.
Shirak, this is Grum and Brudrin.
I'll turn towards
Howdy.
them, and you've seen Dragonborn before, but this one has just got black, glossy scales. Where his eyes would be are like this lavender light, and it also comes from his mouth when he speaks. And it's just like little wisps of shadow that form with his words.
He ushers you in. It's a fairly modest home. There doesn't seem to be very much... Doesn't seem to be really anything fancy except a couple of, like, interesting looking holy symbols that are kind of just lurking around.
Well, Shirak, apparently the orc tribes are invading.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Well, Grum here apparently knows them, and I've about had enough of them. And I
Well-
feel it's time to go deal with them, and I'd like your help in doing it.
It's more like it seems like they're uniting because my tribe wasn't this big before.
Uniting, hey? Dumb fucking simpleton creatures. Something's behind them.
But I would like your assistance. I've been letting you live here and trying to protect you. I could use them. And I know of your talents.
Letting me live here. So big and fucking noble of you.
Jeez, I'm gonna turn to Bruno and say, "Jeez, it's like an angry frantic."
I'm gonna walk over to a dresser. There is a small box on it. I'm gonna lift the lid of it and I'm gonna withdraw this little green fabric. Turn on my heel and walk towards them. I had a feeling you guys were coming for a while anyway. And I'll hold it out. It's this hunter green mask, sort of stained with charcoal. You recognize it?
That
Yes.
looks like something from that Ganel.
Some
Wait,
fucking
what?
raven's been here the last few days and wouldn't leave until I took it.
Wait, what? That's Ganel's?
Yeah, Ganel had a mask.
Mm-hmm.
A raven. Oh, that's right. Ganel works for the Raven Queen now. Oh, that's correct.
Can I have that mask?
And just hold it out between like two little black claws. Yeah, I don't want the fucking thing anyway.
By the way, Shirak,
I'm gonna grab that mask.
I know you've been on the run from that. What did you call it? The Cold Rider, whatever it is. Just so you're aware, these two have killed a god.
Isn't it a god? Something much worse.
They might be able to help after we deal with this. I know you're none too happy about the situation.
You know he can hear you, right?
I'm not worried about it.
Alright, I don't know what we're talking about here now.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck was that?
You see,
What the fuck was that?
so Ganel used to be I guess you'd call it a knight for my grandfather Bahamut.
You mean Shirak?
Some things, Shirak, yes, and then Shirak went somewhere. I've never been quite exact on the details. The Shadowfell, I think he said.
Yes,
I'm not very big on the planes, really. I didn't study them. But he met something called the Cold Rider, and things have happened. I don't really care. The Cold Rider doesn't scare me a whole lot. But then again, my grandfather takes a particularly protective view of me against other entities. Shirak, on the other hand, doesn't have that kind of protection.
You sure we? I go close to Horatio and whisper to him, and you're still sure we can trust him?
Yes. He'll help us. I don't know if we'll have to deal with other problems.
You know I'm standing right here, right?
They've had some instances with betrayal, but they're kind of hesitant.
Invite you into my house and here you all talking shit right in front of me.
Grum, trust me, you'll be fine.
That's stop that shit. Come on, man.
I'm gonna look at Grum and I'm gonna be like, what is happening here?
He's being contacted by an entity that they're whatever
Is
that
he-
idiot was.
But is he okay in helping us? Do we really want his help?
Yes, we really want his help.
Are we really that desperate?
Brudrin,
I mean,
I've seen
You might
what
want to
he can
listen
do.
to your companion here. He seems probably the smartest one of the group so far.
Brudrin, I've seen what he can do.
I'm gonna
Trust
look
me.
away and I'm gonna put my hand on Grum's shoulder and like, I think it's time for us to leave. Let's go.
Now, Horatio,
Hmm?
you know that the dell that that your scout was talking about from Shirak's place, it's probably about like a day foot travel. So it's not too terribly far.
Yeah, we'll probably just start walking.
You hear something
Oh.
from the direction of it.
Oh joy. Well, Shirak, shall we? You're ready to go.
Wait, what do we hear?
It sounds
What
like
do you hear?
it sounds almost like an explosion, but it's not
Do I
quite
hear it?
explosives.
Do I hear it?
We're hearing boom.
Oh, you all hear it. Even if you're the densest person on the planet, you hear it. It is loud.
Fantastic. What is it?
Swipe of my symbol of Bahamut. Put it around my neck. What the fuck are we standing here for?
Right.
Let's go.
Come along.
All
then.
right.
I'll lead us to where we need to go.
Well, you're gonna need us to where the explosion is?
Yes, that is where where we're going.
Are you stepping outside, or are you just teleporting there?
I'm gonna. I don't have teleport. I only have 1/7 level slot, so
okay.
we're gonna walk. We're gonna just start walking since it's not that
All right.
far.
As you get outside, go ahead and give me a perception check real quick just to see, because it is a little bit far off. Just a lot.
Oh yeah, because I'm totally good at this. You all need to be doing this. See, Rudrin will know.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
Look, I'm smart and charismatic. I'm not.
Okay.
Yay!
So, Brudrin and Grum, you managed to see this because for some reason the stars... Brudrin, you see it because you basically see everything as it's happening, like a split second before it's happening. You have the sight beyond sight. Grum, you see way off in the distance... You, like, see kind of almost storm cloud type things way off in the distance, and you see what looks like a giant green foot just coming down and, like, stomping on things. It's coming out of the fucking sky.
From that stormy, cloudy sky.
That seems to be, like, on the edge of the horizon, yes. You swear it's a giant green foot.
Is a foot? A giant green foot?
Shirak?
Thought you said these are fucking orcs. That's not a fucking orc.
Then after a couple, like, probably about like a minute or two after you see it go down each time, you hear just this. It probably does that like 3 or 4 times, and then it just kind of dissipates and disappears.
Arcana check?
You, like, they kind of pointed out and you can barely see it, so go ahead and give it a try. You can assume that it's magic because you can't think of what that would actually be.
That?
But you have never heard of any type of magic or spell that even remotely resembles doing that.
That summons a big ass giant green foot.
Well, okay, well at least we know what's making the noise. I'd like to get over that. Shall we?
So yes,
sure.
You all start walking. Or you can run.
You can run.
I was about to say, at the end of the day, if you ran all day, you probably would be just a little bit exhausted, but you could run.
Well, Grum and Brudrin wouldn't be. I would just ask Grum to carry me, because 30 strength.
Do you want to be carried? I can like piggyback.
I would need to be carried.
I can carry you!
Here, I'll kneel down and I'll say, "Come on, Horatio."
Oh, okay.
Make sure to do a nice, like around.
Yeah,
around my neck, yes.
Yeah. I'll say, Shirak, Brudrin, let's go deal with that.
And then I'm gonna go off. Like, I'm gonna bounce you once, just to make sure you're secure, and then we're gonna start walking run.
Let's go.
I mean,
All right. So you all are running.
I'm running.
I'm good at one thing, and that's it.
I don't know how we're gonna fight the big ass foot though.
I'll deal with the foot.
You're all
probably
running
magic.
towards it. And probably takes you about like half a day before you can start seeing the actual like city. And it's looking fucking wrecked. Like, just destroyed. Things are on fire. Like, most of the buildings are just completely demolished.
Right then.
Are there like any, you know? Well, I don't know if there's gonna be any survivors.
It's still pretty far on the horizon. Like,
Ah.
you just initially see it, and you see fire, and you see just mangled buildings everywhere.
Jesus.
Looks like a lot of the farmland in the surrounding area has just been caught on fire.
Do I see any orcs?
You can see, like, it's hard to really tell if it's orcs or not at the distance you're at, because you're still pretty far out. You do see, like, figures running through the, like, farmland and around the city.
Okay.
Do I hear any drums? Like war drums? I don't know if they would be.
Give me
Something like
give me
that.
one more perception.
Sure.
I'd actually like to look and see if any
You'd like to look and see if what?
people, like people. Like
Go
my
ahead
town,
and-
the townspeople.
Yeah, go ahead and give perception on that. Grum, you do faintly hear a war drum, like, off in the distance. Just very rhythmic. Doom, doom, doom.
I can still hear them.
Horatio,
Yes.
you can't really tell. Like, as I said, it's pretty far out, so all you're really getting is kind of like figures in the farmland, and all the fires and smoke is making it a little bit difficult to discern things. You see, like, some normal-sized figures, and then you see some, like, smaller, you'd guess they're children, just kind of, like, running through.
I'm gonna look at Grum and awkwardly say, "Well, at least I didn't cause this."
Holy shit. I'll turn to Brudrin and
For those new to joining us, Brudrin did in fact summon a tornado on a city because he thought it was a good idea.
We all thought it was a good idea.
and killed
Everyone
innocent
except
people.
Ganel
Yeah, right now.
and Malik.
Yeah, Brannick was ends justify the means at that particular moment. All right. I'm gonna say, well, Grum, if you can hear where they're coming from, lead us there.
Yes.
We need to capture one alive if we can, just so we can figure out what the hell is going on.
It's
Alive?
Just one. Just
it,
one.
it kind of
We can-
seems
we
a
can
little
kill him
bit
after.
difficult. It seems a little bit difficult to tell where the drums are coming from like the area that you're currently at, because it is just kind of echoing out.
Yeah, I'm
But-
just gonna tell them that. Like I can hear them, but Grum can't pinpoint exactly where it's coming from. I just know it's very faint.
Yeah.
We're just gonna still run towards the carnage.
You do manage to see, like, everyone does manage to see it because they're looking in the general direction and it's pretty obvious. You do manage to see something else a bit weird. Like, some of the figures running away on, like, one of the sides of the town. Suddenly you just see this, like, giant green wave of force just blasting out towards them and just instantly killing them, you would guess, because they just stop moving.
Killing the orcs?
No,
No,
whatever
probably killing my
figures.
townspeople.
Whatever figures you see, because you can't tell if they're orcs or humans, just some weird green wave of force blasts out, and there's like a line of probably like 20 figures, they all just drop.
I'm
Whoa.
fairly certain those. Shirak, you ready to use those talents of yours?
You, Grum, since you got a really good perception as well, you hear it very faintly off in the distance after that wave of force goes off as you're running towards it. You just hear this very faint, like, whoa!
Oh my god, these are Warhammer!
You hear it, like,
The war,
echoing
right?
as if there's a lot
Oh my
of figures
God,
doing
this
it.
is- These are Warhammer orcs. This is amazing and it's terrible.
You should be
hear them.
terrified.
How far away are we?
Yeah.
You're probably, like, if you're still running, you're probably, like, an hour away.
Oh,
Yeah, let's keep booking it. Because we need to deal with these and we need to deal with them now.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to run faster and say, okay, now I'm hearing them. doing that weird screaming that they do. Their war
I may have
cry.
small legs, but I can't
Well, you
wait
can
to...
fly.
Oh,
Oh,
I
you
can
can fly.
Can you fly it with?
I think it's like
Yes.
3 times per day, I think.
Yeah, twice. 2 times
Ah,
a day. Yeah.
2 times a day.
But I'd be alone.
That's true.
He would be alone.
I don't want to die. Although
No,
I
we'll
am
just
human.
maintain the group running.
In the group. Okay, that's fine. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. As you're running through, you get closer and start getting towards like the outskirts of the essentially you start getting towards like the burning farmlands. And you start seeing some of the figures. There does appear to be a couple like civilians and stuff like that you recognize, some of the townsfolk.
Hopefully they don't attack me.
Well, no, because I'm going to be the instant I think that the town yelling "run, get away," we're going to deal with this.
Oh, they're already kind of moving. Like one of them has a child like in his hands in his arms basically, like running through the farmland.
I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna shout, "Go to the capital, go!"
Aye, my lord.
Oh, I am unhappy now.
You're seeing like a few other stragglers. You kind of see like an almost childlike figure out in one of the like burning areas, and it seems to be like looking for something as you're running by.
You want to stop and help?
I'm gonna stop and help.
The smoke is kind of like obscuring things, so you can't really tell what the childlike figure's doing. It's kind of just like searching around.
Well, let's stop and check on it.
I like how you call the child an it.
Well, because I don't know what it is.
You don't know if it's a he, you don't know if it's a she.
childlike figure.
It's obscured by
It
smoke,
means it's
because there's a lot of fucking
Yeah.
smoke.
I don't know what the child is. On the plus side, though, I'm attuned to the ring, so I'm immune to fire.
Yay!
Well, I'm resistant to fire. So.
Who's going
I'm
up?
Immune.
Who's going up?
I'll go up.
Just
So
by
you'll
yourself?
hop off?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll ask Shirak to come with me. I'm smart enough to know that Shirak has very specific talents.
I have a very
Yeah,
specific
so
set of
And
skills.
if it is something that is,
He has a particular set of skills.
yes, he does. And I know that if it's something that's going to possibly threaten us, he will happily
And he will
murderize it.
find them, and he will kill them.
Yes, he would.
I have a very particular set of skills.
Yours involve griffin grease.
They do involve griffin grease. Okay.
All right.
So you're going up to it, or what are you saying?
Excuse me. Are you long?
Don't do that!
Oh dear God, have mercy on my.
Is that garbage?
I was looking for me friggin' potions! I dropped them about
Question,
somewhere around
do I
here.
know Garbig?
You know that he was a
Right.
shopkeeper in there, and he's probably one of the only, like, nice goblins that you've ever known.
Garbig, what are you doing?
I'm looking for me potion barrel! What do you think I'm doing? I just told you what I was doing! There's somewhere
I'm
around
not
here.
entirely.
I had
I'm
really
not entirely
important
certain your
research.
potions are going to be. I'm not sure they're going to be any good anymore. There's a lot of, fire.
Well, I had important research in it! I almost had the success. I was almost done.
Oh.
What are we doing here, Horatio?
Yes, we can leave him to his business. He knows how to defend himself. Get out of here and get home when you get to the main city when you're done, okay?
Yeah, all right. You say you don't want me to tag along.
If you want to, if you have any of your equipment, you're welcome to. I
mean,
know.
I kinda-
you can-
I kind of lost everything. I might catch up with you later.
do that. If you can find some of it, we're going to. And I'm going to point.
Oh yeah, that was
Where
pretty
the-
nasty. I don't know what the hell that foot was. Took out my shop really, really fast, quick, and in a hurry. It's a good thing I was out gathering herbs.
Okay, well, we better start running if you want to catch
Just-
up to the works.
Yeah, as I'd say,
Yeah.
just about that second, like as he's looking at you, you kind of hear rustling in the like farmland that you can kind of tell. There's a lot of like clashing swords and other stuff, but you can see directly behind him that there's like rustling and stuff, and then another goblin just kind of leaps out and is kind of jumping up with a dagger trying to stab at him.
Shirak, are you going to... I'm going to immediately blades it.
I'd probably just Eldritch Blast it.
So this goblin's going to jump up and get me blasted.
Go ahead and roll.
Alright, I'm just
The
casting it at
goblin
first
is-
level.
The another goblin is trying to attack
Garbage, yeah.
Garbage?
Mm-hmm.
I get 2 of them. Man, I rolled shitty.
Yeah, you rolled 2 crits if you had advantage. God.
I know, right?
So Horatio, you shoot out the frost blades at it, and it manages to catch it in the shoulder. Savrik, you shoot out your first blast of purple light from your claws, and it kind of like catches him in the other shoulder and is sending him careening a little bit. So the second one just kind of goes where you thought he was still going to be, and it kind of just whizzes by him. It doesn't seem, or he's still kind of like flying with the dagger up, but he's kind of like flailing now. And Garbig, seeing all that, just turns around and just straight up you see him kind of like shed skin really fast, grow like massive claws, and just shank him right through the eyes.
Pay attention for me, Garbig. Or you
Garbig
wallow now.
Garbig always was so pedestrian at paying attention.
And kind of slashes the goblin off her claws.
Hello, Wallow.
Oh, fuck this. Let us start walking towards
Uh,
the city.
I forgot how nasty goblins taste. Yeah. Right.
I'm gonna look at Bruder and I'm like, did you just solve that?
I have some strange people who live in. Okay.
Okay, well let's keep going then.
Wallow, you're more than welcome to join us if you want, but we're going to go kill us a bunch of orcs.
I'll find Garbig's crap.
Belongings first.
It's important to him.
Stay
I don't
safe.
know why. Oh yes, trust me. I'll be safe.
All right, let's go. And I'm gonna hop on Grum's back and.
And we'll keep running again.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, you run in towards the center of town. You can kind of see like there's a lot of your guards' bodies, like the town guard. There's a couple goblin corpses. They don't really look normal.
Are there any orc corpses, or is it only just goblin that we're seeing?
There's
What
a
are
very very minimal amount. You see like some goblin corpses, and like probably for every like 10 to 20 goblin corpses you maybe find one orc corpse.
Wait a minute. These aren't orcs. These are goblins. Wait,
No, but
I see an orc there.
I'm not surprised.
They're
probably
the
using
orcs.
the goblins as fodder.
Yeah, the orcs, they don't look right.
Huh.
What's different about them?
So normally they're kind of like anywhere from like light green to really dark green.
Yeah.
They kind of still have that, but there's like red intermixed into them. Like you can kind of see like really, really weird dark reds just coursing through what you would guess would be where their veins were. They're kind of bloody, so it's harder to see.
Kind of hard to tell, yeah. I can't tell if it's just the blood or something.
Grum, you also
Shirak, have
you also
ever
notice
seen anything like
you notice something else that's a little bit odd, because these ones aren't from your clan. You know of them because your clan has fought them before. They're the savages. They've got fucking war paint just draped all over them. They kind of have like all these bone charms. They don't really seem to be wearing any type of armor at all. They're just crude bone weapons.
This was... Yeah, they're not from my old tribe.
something very strange?
And that's not normal. Whatever the weird red veiny thing going on with their body.
We need to find the main.
Let's go.
You can definitely hear the drums going. You also hear a bit of clashing coming from more like the center of town.
Alright, I'm heading towards there then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna... Once we get near though, I'm gonna tell Horatio I'm gonna need to drop him off so I can have my axe.
That's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, you start getting close, you're hearing all the sounds of battle kind of just going on. You're hearing screaming from townsfolk still trapped, you're guessing. Because a lot of the buildings have just like fallen over, been crushed in on themselves. Other ones are just straight up burning. You are finally seeing some of your town's guard fighting like some of these orcs.
Okay, I'm gonna drop off Horatio. Oof. And then take out my fiery great axe.
Well,
You're
Mr. Brudred, Mr. Shirak,
And
I
I'm
think it
gonna
is time.
rage and just start gunning.
Before she. Okay, so how far away are you guys?
You essentially like are hearing the sounds. You round the corner into like the central plaza of the town, and you're probably only about like 30 feet away, honestly.
Okay, so before everything gets going, the instant she drops twin spelling haste on Shirak and Grum.
Okay.
And the way this looks is I like look at, well, time to stop going, and I snap my fingers like that, and basically the silver lining in my skin comes out and wraps around them and kind of infuses into them.
What's it do again? I know it gives me...
I'm going to link the spell for you too.
Yes, please.
There you are. So yeah, you guys now look. You guys basically have the silver lining that my skin normally has. You have it kind of, and that's the haste.
Yeah.
And I guess we all should be rolling initiative at this point.
Yes, you should.
I'm gonna roll 2.
Yeah, you get advantage on yours, barbarian.
There you
Holy
go.
crap! She doesn't need advantage.
Yeah, there is no way that you could do better than that.
Let me roll mine. Where the hell is theirs initiative? How bad am I? Oh, 14. Try to
Okay.
keep one of the orcs alive. Oh, the goblins, I don't care which.
Grum, you do also notice one other kind of important thing.
Yes.
There appears to be a really, really big orc. Kind of towards the center of town. But he doesn't look as kitted out for, like, melee combat. Like, he's got axes and things, like really, really crude axes, but he's got this weird, like, wooden mask just going up way above his head that's got all types of, like, paint all over it.
What is he doing?
He's kind of, like, dancing around really weird. And and suddenly, like, as you round the corner and you're seeing him just, like, dance around all types of crazy, just this friggin' wave of force just again goes out in a direction and you hear people just stop screaming.
Well, Grum, if you'd be so kind as to deal with that.
Okay.
How many total are we looking at here? We've got the Masky Orc, which is a
I was about to say, you got the big old Masky Orc. You've probably got about, I'd probably say like 10 of the regular orcs. And then like probably about 20 gobos. Just kind of like poking at the guards with like sticks.
I'm going to say, do me actually a favor, if you're so kind. Are there any townspeople in that group that just all by together?
Like regular townsfolk, or?
Yeah, like my people.
You've got guardsmen who are like fighting them.
Okay. All right.
Or at least trying to. They're kind of not doing so great.
All right. Well, Grum and company, have at them.
Not forgetting that with my haste, I get how many attacks?
You get one additional attack. You get one additional action. So you can either do dash, disengage, hide, or attack. Basically, you get one extra action.
Well, my movement is already doubled, so I don't need to dash because they're just like what?
They're only like 30. Like the main force of orcs is only about like 40 feet in. Big mass guy is probably like 80 feet back.
Oh,
You can make it.
I can get him, so.
I was about to say, you probably are going to take a swing or two from
I don't think Grum in a
Orc
rage
buddy,
will care.
but I don't think she'll
She
care too
reduced
much.
by fucking
No,
half.
I'm just gonna gun for the dancing dude.
Okay, so you're gunning it for him. Let's take a look here. Da-da-da-da. What's your AC?
21.
That's with the haste bonus?
Yeah, that's with the haste bonus.
Alright.
Alright, you run by so fast they kind of like swing at you, but they don't really seem to connect at all.
Yes.
And the masked orc just kind of turns to you and is like, you can't really see if it's looking at you. Well, you can gather that it's looking at you because it turns its heads towards you, but you can't really see eyes. Like its face is entirely kind of covered.
Don't care. I'm gonna go smash it. Go smash.
Did you rage as your bonus action?
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't get your bonus attack from the frenzy.
Yeah.
Are you frenzying?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna
You won't get the attack this round because you used the bonus action to rage.
I'm gonna frenzy.
So next round, your bonus action, you
So I'll
can
get four attacks.
next round,
the next
yes.
round,
This
okay,
round
so-
you get 3.
So I'm gonna do 1. Am I going first?
Yeah, you're first.
Okay.
Mhm.
Holy hell!
And do
Grum smash! Holy
Grum
fucking
smash.
ground smash.
So that, if all 3 of those hit, that's like 70 some odd fucking, it's 73.
I hope they motherfucking hit.
It's 73 damage to one
So-
target.
So something weird seems to happen. The first one goes like right into him and kind of like singes him. And you see some of that red stuff just oozing out, and he just kind of rears back and lets out a massive wah, which sends the other ones kind of into a frenzy too. they just start screaming, "Whoa!" The second and third one, they seem to connect, but they just don't seem to actually dig in. Like, they just glance off somehow.
Huh.
That's gonna be a problem.
You just hear him, "You think you can hurt the Grey Wurzag?"
Ron can keep trying. Eventually you'll die.
"Let's get him, lads!" And just slams down like his weird... He kind of has like... almost like a bone staff. It's not particularly long, but he just like slams it down. And you suddenly see all the orcs' hands just kind of like grow about 2 sizes larger, and their weapons seem to as well.
Jesus.
And I've got townspeople. That's a
You
problem.
got guardsmen that they're currently engaging.
Press F to pay respect.
I'm going to tell the guards to retreat. I'm like, retreat! I need space to do things.
Retreat! Run away! Run away! At first opportunity, sir! They're kind of like fending off goblins and orcs. Running right now would essentially mean they get cut in the back.
Yeah, well, it's either that or a fireball on top of their heads.
They don't really have a good out yet.
Yeah, I know.
But okay, so next, I believe it is... Oh, I wish this thing would actually... Descending.
Yeah,
there
I'm
we
at
go.
I was gonna say, I'm at 14.
Didn't actually save it. Damn it.
No.
Oh well. So yes, that would be... Yeah, that'd be Horatio. Go ahead.
So, the big one's within 150.
The big one's what?
The big shaman-y dude, he's within 100.
He's like 80 feet away, yeah. Right next to
Yeah, I'm
Grum.
casting chain lightning.
Go right
Him
ahead.
and 3 of the big orcs. Him and 3 of the big orcs.
Go right ahead.
So, he needs to make a dex save 37. He takes half if he succeeds. It's lightning damage, by the way. And then there's 3 big orcs. Or 3 of the regular orcs. So one of them, that's his bolt. One of them is that one. And the last one is that one, because it gets all of that. Or not the 5th one down there, that 54. I don't know why it rolled that twice. So Mask Boy is 37. 3 of the regular orcs are 42, 41, and 47.
Okay.
Dex save for half, and it's lightning damage. I'm hoping that because they seem to ignore fire, maybe light.
Okay. So, the first part strikes at the, like, the masked orc, and it seems to, it seems to, like, cause him to get shrieked out in pain. It shoots off to the second orc, and he seems to kind of shrug it off a little bit better. The third one just seems completely unaffected. Like, again, it looks like it completely connected with him, and then that, like, the weird war paint that they've got kind of just glowed for a second and seemed to, like, cancel out the electricity. And then the third one kind of gets a little bit. Doesn't seem to affect him as much, but they definitely got a little bit of the hurtin' put on him.
Alright. And I'm concentrating on haste, so... Yeah, that's going to be it for me.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
So now it would be Brudrin.
Right, how far away from me are they?
The frontline orcs are probably about 30 feet away.
Mhm.
And the big masked dude is about like 80 feet away.
What's their position in front of me? Like, are
So
they
you've
directly in front of me?
you've essentially got like the 10 orcs that are kind of engaged with like the town's guard directly in front of you. Off to kind of the side, there's like quite a few goblins engaging the other flank of the guards. And then also directly in front of you behind the wall of orcs is the big masked dude.
Okay. I'm going to take directly in front of me, like the closest ones. How many are there?
There's about 10 kind of like spaced out in about like a 45-foot line, just taking on like essentially 3 towns guard apiece.
Okay, I'm gonna take the one on the left. I do not want to stand in front of Horatio. I want to be to his left, but in front.
Okay, yeah, you can definitely do that.
Okay.
So you run up to the first orc.
And then I'm going to swoosh.
Give him the swiggity swoosh.
I can swoosh twice, right?
I believe you can swoosh 3 times now because you're level 15.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can swoosh quite a few times.
Swooshity swooshity.
Swoogity swoog. Swoosh the booty.
I also realized I could have twin spelled the fucking chain lightning
Technically.
spell.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay. So the first and second one are just like tearing into this orc. And you see him just kind of getting like more and more aggravated as it goes on. The third one, again, it seems to like connect, and then that war paint just kind of like glows and it just glances off.
Okay.
You can't do it! You weak little bastard.
So we really need to get that masked dude out of the picture.
Horatio's gonna kind of look for a second and go, Shirak, think you can reach him? Can't get to him. Just start culling the
You
small
can't?
one.
I mean, you're hasted.
If he's 80 feet away, that's
You're hasted.
You're hasted.
I know.
You can take a dash action for your extra and
yeah,
move
I could do
120
that.
feet.
I could definitely get to it.
And then you'd still have your normal 2 attacks.
Yeah, I can get to him.
But guess what? It's time for them to have some fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
it's their turn.
I'm still like the 30 some odd feet away, so hopefully they bother everyone else. Leave poor Squishy alone. Probably not, though.
Okay. So Horatio, the mask guy kind of, is like dancing around in front of you, Grumman he seems to not really like the dude who just shot lightning at him. Because he just seems to be like dancing and then points the bone staff out towards Horatio. So go ahead and give me a... what would that be? That would be a wisdom save.
Oh, my best save.
No, it's not your best.
No, it's not.
You get polymorphed, essentially.
Oh my god!
Awesome.
You're turned into this like little tiny like 2-legged, barely any mouth, just which I believe would break your concentration. But...
as long as I still have my mental faculty.
oh yeah, that's
no.
right. I don't know if... yeah, you would, because it's polymorph. You still have your mental faculties, you just can't...
yeah, I just
do
can't do
much.
anything further.
so yeah, you gotta... and that is pretty much Big Mask Dude's turn, as he's just kind of cackling madly. Soon you'll go into the bag. Soon you'll go into the bag.
In the bag?
You notice he has a bag on you and it seems to be moving.
Oh my god.
Now it's Orc Boy's turns. We're just gonna do a big old blanket one, or else we're gonna be rolling way too many damn dice.
Well, guys, I need you to hit him to break.
Hey, Brudrin,
Yeah.
what's your AC?
20.
20?
Is that with the... oh yeah,
He's not hasted.
He's not hasted.
Shirak
I'm not
or hasted.
Okay. This gonna hurt a bit.
I'm ready. Come here, boy.
Yeah, please break his concentration so I can.
Hold on.
Come here, boy.
Alright, so the one orc in front of you decides to ignore the 3 guards people who are immediately in front of him and turns his attention towards you because you're actually hitting him. And he kind of just... His hands seem to be like really enlarged and he's just and wailing on you. He actually manages to hit you, all of them, just cutting through your defenses. You're not ready for this ferocity as he just suddenly pelts you over and over again with this crude bone axe. You take... where is this? Dun, 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 dun. 52 damage.
Jesus!
Jesus Christ.
Huh.
By the way, most of your guards people are dead.
Yeah, I figure as much at this point. Unfortunately, I'm polymorphed, and polymorphed is
There's like
concentration for 1 hour.
there's like 2 people who are still there's 2 people fighting the orcs who are like still kind of like fending off, but they didn't do so hot. Let's see here. And mostly irrelevant on the other side, but most of the goblins seem to be just infighting.
They're fighting each other?
Like they're going to stab the guard and then one of them accidentally stabbed like another goblin in the process because they're just kind of wildly flailing the sticks around. And like some of them in the back are just kind of like, hey, and like bashing each other over the head and shit. One of them does manage to like down a guardsman every so often, but for the most part they're just all there. And now it would be guardsmen who are promptly taking the disengage action, and at least the ones fighting the orcs, they're taking the disengage action and fucking booking it. The goblin ones kind of see that. They kind of look at what happened to Horatio and they're like, nah, you're gonna need us to fend these off, and they just stay. Also, after the guardsmen go, you said your AC was 21, Grum?
Yes.
Okay. The dude attempts to like slash out at you with the crude bone axe in his other hand, and he kind of just chucks it on accident and it just goes somewhere else. And he kind of is stomping around. Alright, now it's back up to Grum!
No, it's
Oh wait, yeah, that's Shirak. Dang it, I forgot you'd got like super low.
Yeah, 5. I got a straight path to this dude.
There's some orcs in the way, so you may take an attack. or 2.
Remember, your AC is boosted because of haste.
I'll take whatever path is going to be the least amount of opportunity attacks on me.
At pretty much any given time, the lowest you could hope for is 2.
Alright, let's do it.
Okay. What's your AC?
22.
One of them does manage to catch you, like in the side as you're dashing by, with one of the axe swings. And it kind of catches in your side and hits you for 11 points of damage as it just kind of gets into the little nick in the armor.
Okay. Have I made it to this guy?
Yeah, you make it.
Okay. I am going to cast a Hexblade Curse upon him. No, actually, strike that. I'm just going to attack him.
Okay.
It's going to be a hit.
Yes.
And I'm going to cast Staggering Smite with that first hit.
As I say, I'm going to spare you that because as you go to connect it again, that paint just seems to like light up, and the blade looks like it should have connected, but it kind of just gets deflected off. So you didn't waste the spell slot or anything, because you would have realized it as it was going to plunge in.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
I'm
you
away
still
from
got
that.
2 more attacks.
No.
No, that's right. You have 1 more attack because you had to dash to get up there.
Like I said, it's not going to do anything anyway, but I can't do anything else regardless, so. Just another wasted attack.
Well, it depends on if the paint stops that one too.
That one manages to find purchase.
Hey!
Then I can cast my
Exhaustion!
Staggering Smite then.
Yeah, and we'll just use that one as the oh, that works too. I'll use the previous one because you already rolled it.
That's so he needs to make a DC 19 con save or suffer 2 levels of exhaustion first.
And he's going to make concentration checks for both sets of damage because it is 2 different sets
Yep.
of damage.
So he fails the con save, so he definitely
It's the 2
looks
levels of
more
exhaustion.
tired.
Ooh.
Yes.
Then he needs to make a wisdom save. And if he fails, he has disadvantages on attack rolls and ability checks and can't take reactions until the end of his next turn.
That one he does manage to save.
All right.
But he does still take good chunk of damage, and he's pretty tired as fuck now.
Oh, and I think the exhaustion will make him have disadvantage on his check for concentration
Mm-hmm.
because it's an ability check. It's only DC 10 though, or half the damage, whichever is greater, and that's
Yeah.
9 points of damage on each hit. So he has to make 2 DC 10 con saves at disadvantage. And
He
if either of them
manages-
fail, I get unmorphed.
He manages to make it.
Both of them.
Yeah,
Even oh wow! All right. Well, I'm
Barely.
still Frog then.
barely.
Hopefully, Grum can beat the crap out of it, because her damage potential is a whole lot higher.
Is it my
Yep.
turn now?
Almost. After he gets exhausted as shit from that blade, he does not like Shirak. He does not like Shirak at all.
He can't take reaction. Oh no, he can. He passed that one.
Yeah.
That's right.
Does that say... Shirak, go ahead and make a dexterity save.
I believe haste actually gives you a bonus to that.
Yeah, it
I
does.
think so.
It's
I think it's like a
advantage.
plus... I think it's like
Oh, he
plus
has
2.
advantage,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
which is the 11.
Yeah.
Damn, you
I'm
rolled
not
low.
just dexterous.
Oh, is Brudrin and Grum now within 10 feet of Shirak?
Yeah, he's close to me.
Grum is within 10 feet, yes.
Okay, well, Grum, you're getting +6 to all your saves.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yes.
Shirak, you see like where the eyes are kind of painted on the mask just glow green all of a sudden, and these beams just shoot out and kind of strike you square in the chest. You weren't expecting just sudden light beam shooting out. You take 19 points of force damage.
Trying to do this in my head. Don't mind me.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, is that considered like damage, correct?
What was that?
I took some damage from a creature.
Yes.
Well, then I can just react with Hellish Rebuke.
Go right ahead.
It's like us just slapping each other.
Care.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
DC 19 dex save for 36 points of damage, or half as much.
And he's suffering disadvantage to fucking every exhaustion.
Yes.
Yep. So that one does manage to light him on fire, and he's kind of like stamping around like, ah!
I'm just gonna angrily rivet some, because that's all
You're
I can do.
not really a frog. Nobody really knows what it is. It only has two legs. It doesn't have any arms, and it's just a head.
2 legs.
So you just need to go through and like stab him. That's all you need to do.
He does manage to make the save, so you're still polymorphed.
Yay! Oh, he does not have disadvantage on savings right now, just ability check speed.
Yeah.
You just have disadvantage on all ability checks, which would include the con checks.
Yeah.
This.
Okay.
Grum!
Oh my god.
Murderlate
Yes.
them.
Dear
Murderating
God,
the
though.
countryside.
If you hit him 3 times, you kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh!
Jesus.
Oh, crap.
Oh.
So, Virus, can he make a DC 20 or like a DC 22 con save?
We'll have to find out, because first, he's got that special little thing that keeps happening.
Oh! Lucky scrap! Some of my crits, man!
Oh
Okay,
my God.
okay. The first hit gets deflected by the actual, like, paint. The second, third, and fourth hit all find purchase.
Jesus Christ.
As Grum's just like,
wait.
yes.
39 plus 9, that's 48. Okay, so that's a 24 DC con.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one is
A lot.
40 is
It's a DC
God, that's like
29 and a
That's
half.
what it is.
that's
Yeah,
34
DC
plus 18,
29.
which is 52 plus 7, that's 59. So yeah, it's like 20. Yeah, it's a DC 29.
down.
I was about to say, I'll spare you a bit, because he kind of gets pulped. How would you like to finish that?
Yeah, Jane, how would you like?
How would I like to finish that?
How do you want this to go?
Well, he's bigger than me, right?
He's probably about the same size as you. Like, oddly enough, he's not really as
Oh my
built.
God, those
He's
are
kind of like, he's still muscular because he's like he's a big orc guy, but he's kind of lanky compared to even the other orcs there.
Well, I'm going for his mask because I don't like, him just hiding behind his mask. So I'm gonna try to beat the ever-living shit off his head. Especially considering he used that, he used his ice laser beam, Shirak.
Yeah.
The beatings will continue until morale improves.
So you, as I say,
I mean, like, stop.
you bring the axe up and you just hack. It kind of like splinters through the first time and burns it off. The second time you're straight up like smacking the rest of it, and then the third time you just come straight up down into the skull and it just splits open with all the gore and viscera coming out.
Is the blood, spraying towards me? Because if so, I'm gonna bait on it.
It is spraying towards you a bit. The orcs seem to get a little... The orcs seem to get a little... Run away, lads! And they seem to be trying to get the fuck out. The goblins, like, as soon as they heard that, they didn't even, like, say anything. They're just gone.
Run away!
Like, you look back over at them and the guards are even like, where the fuck did they go? But as that happening, you do notice something a little bit odd as the blood's, like, splattering on you, Grum. It kind of burns a little.
And I am no longer polymorphed.
Yeah, you pop back out. There are also, the bag on his side. One, like, thing just rips open the bag all of a sudden, and there's just, like, a guy there.
What the fuck?
Then there's some other weird little creatures that kind of looks like what Horatio looked like. Like, they're still just wandering around.
What the fuck?
Oh! Oh. Yeah, the orcs are kind of going off and the guardsmen, yeah!
Is one of the orcs still within 6 feet of me?
You can try to stop, or you can try to, like, do something to one as they're running off.
Oh, I was gonna try to polymorph one.
Go ahead.
They just need to make a DC 18, where is this? Wisdom save. I'm going to polymorph them into a slug.
Suddenly one of the orcs just...
Pick up the slug, please.
Go ahead and
Make
make
sure
a...
you
Go
tell them
ahead
not
and...
to kill
Whoever's looking for it, make a perception check.
I'm gonna walk right over to where I saw it because I did it.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say, you said someone go pick it up, so it's like if someone else is going...
Oh yeah, no, like that way make sure nobody... I'm gonna walk over there too. But...
Okay. Yeah, like... You managed to find it.
I was like, I wanted one alive. That was really weird. I've never seen orcs do anything like that.
I'm gonna turn to Shirak because he's the closest to me. This blood is burning. Why is the blood burning?
Would you like to be? Would you like to be cleaned?
I'm gonna
Grum?
taste some of it. I'm sorry,
Grum is a little weird.
I'm not gonna drink it. I'm just gonna.
It definitely
taste.
burns, and like when you're tasting it, it kind of feels similar to another figure that you've kind of engaged with before. Someone that you engaged with right after Uranus.
The demon.
The demon. Is that demon? God, I forgot to know what's my insult for him.
I don't. Grum, he's dead.
Oh, well.
But there are more demons. There's more than one.
So this is how they're getting stronger. Demons are controlling them. Or helping them.
Well, Shirak, good work. Good work, Mr. Brudra.
Also,
say good work to Grum.
Actually, Grum, I was going to ask, would you like me to clean off the burning blood?
No, I'll clean it.
Okay.
And then I just start wiping some more on my face. I don't care. I'll take the damage
Also,
of
Grum,
the burning.
thank. Because otherwise, I would have been stuck as a whatever that was.
the guy from the bag is kind of like getting up and dusting himself off.
I'm gonna be waving Horatio. I'm like, mate, can you throw some,
Heals.
I'm hurting.
I'm actually going to mass cure wound the guards and these guys. So let me cast it. Cast it 5th level, please. Everyone gets 22 hit points back.
Nice. The like few guards that are still up seem to be feeling a bit better.
So yeah, so Shirak, Brudrin, and Grum, you get 22 hit points back if you took any damage at all.
I didn't took no damage.
I'm going to say, okay, so the slug form. Can we all form up around him so he doesn't go running off? Does anyone speak Orc?
I'm gonna look at Horatio and give him like a, are you for real? Look.
You just kind of give him the...
Grum, you got kicked out. I don't know if that's much.
It said I grew up with them.
I don't think you actually told me that one. But fair enough. So I'm gonna ask like Grum and the guards and Shirak and Brandon.
The guards are all like kind of pointing spears and shit at the slug, kind of back a bit because they don't know how it's. They kind of don't know like how big it's going to get because they're kind of like, I don't want to stab it.
Why don't
right
I
as
just
it...
try to like hold on to it?
Well, once he pops back out, you can grab him if you want.
Yeah.
I doubt he'd break your grip.
Yes, with my 30 strength.
All right. So once everyone's in position,
Well, I'm gonna ask like who's Shirak is pretty big, right?
How big
Shirak's...
is Shirak? I mean, I know he's beefy.
I'm a
He's
big
pretty
dragonborn
beefy,
in plate
right?
mail, so.
So if I'm gonna ask Shirak too, just in case if all else fails, which I don't think I'll fail, but just in
Oh,
case.
by the way, the haste wears off. You freeze in place for a moment.
Oh, then why the fuck?
Well, no, just for a
Wait.
second.
Okay.
That would have actually been when you polymorphed. Yeah, that would have like already had happened while you were
Okay.
walking up to the
Yeah.
slug.
Yeah, he's the
You
one
and
last time.
you and Shirak would have just like, oh
Sorry about that.
fuck.
All right, go ahead and unpolymorph him.
All right. I'm gonna break polymorph.
All right.
Guys, I want to cast another spell too, by the way.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm going to cast Zone of Truth.
Ah.
Ooh, nice.
All right, and his save is a lot worse than mine. His spell DC is higher than mine.
Yeah, it'll be a DC 19 Charisma save.
Versus my my 18.
It succeeds.
He succeeds.
Of course it does.
What the fuck? Well,
He
Well,
rolled-
Grum, what's
He rolled a base of 19.
Jesus.
Shirak, are you gonna? Because I know what Zone of Truth feels like. Are you gonna let me know that?
Do I know that he didn't pass?
Yeah,
it?
you do. It
You
tells
you
right
know who succeeds and who fails because you
Yeah.
can willingly choose to fail.
Yeah. I know what it is, and I'm gonna.
He averted effects.
Oh, I'll cast it.
You're gonna
DC
cast it
18.
again.
The double zone of truth.
Why not? But he has to make a separate charisma DC 18 against mine.
Did he succeed on that?
With his charisma, he got 18.
Jesus Christ!
Jesus, this orc has a bigger charisma than I do. What the fuck?
He's meant to be
That's
intimidating.
one hot orc.
He's supposed to be the one who like goes in and just scares the shit out of the town guard.
Jesus.
I'm just gonna look at Shirak and go, you wanna just try this the old-fashioned? Apparently, he's really resistant to this stuff.
You ain't gonna get me to talk.
You'd rather be dead.
If I die, I'll go to see Gork and Mork.
Wait,
Say
I'm
more
gonna
to
ask. I'm gonna
Gork
ask
and
Shirak
Mork.
to.
Uncivilized. As he's
You know,
sitting
we
there in a
can,
loincloth and bone necklace and like all types of nothing.
You know, we can. Grum is gonna suggest instead of beating him into a pulp to get the truth, why don't you slowly cut off his wang? I'm gonna turn to the orc. sure we do it slowly.
Look at the dwarf. You were worried about me.
And I'm not gonna, I'm just
Gorgon
gonna
more
grab it.
hydrate.
I'm just gonna grab into his thing and just start pulling it out.
Well, I certainly suppose that's one way to do it.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be... Well, actually, let's see here. Go ahead and make a intimidation.
Oh God! Really?
Yeah.
I have shitty.
You're trying to scare the guy!
I can't scare him. I have shit intimidating presence.
Oh, god damn it! This fucking orc. Not only that, he made a nat 20. He's just like, you're fucking lying. Plus Gorgon Mork hate squealers. No one will make time talk.
I mean, you just hold it out for me, right? And I can take care of the rest.
Yes.
So
the saber's out.
actually, Horatio's going to kind of lean in.
He's gonna lean in and what? You cut out.
I'm going to try to intimidate him. I'm going to look at him and go, so what you're telling me is that if you die, you go and hang out with this Gulk and Mork. So clearly the solution here is to torment you, torture you, and harm you, but not let you die. And I'm quite good at keeping people alive. Seems like a fine idea to me.
You keep me here, and you're all gonna pay.
Well, considering you're
He seems to be a little bit unsettled by your statement, though.
So
he's gonna look at me and go, and considering
What
that you
about
all
with
these
Shirak?
people.
What about with
Yeah,
Shirak?
Shirak's over here.
Yeah.
you're not afraid to die, right?
None of us are afraid to die.
Oh, how would you like to live forever as my servant, then? And I'm going to use my ability, Accursed Spectre. I'm going to raise up one of these slain humanoid orcs into a specter who's going to obey my commands.
Well, that ain't him. That's just some bony fucking guy.
No, but that could be you.
He comes out. This is going to be you next.
That is certainly one way to keep him.
Let's see here. Go ahead and roll the intimidation for it, just to see.
Jesus.
All my rolls, shit.
And
He's
you're supposed to be good at it.
he's
Jesus
still
Christ.
he's
I
still
rolled
a little
two.
bit like shaken up by that. And let's see here.
Damn.
He's kind of like getting really, really shifty-eyed. Like you can tell that he's looking for something. Grum,
Really, all I want-
you're holding him, yeah?
Yes.
Make an athletics.
Oh, this ought to be interesting.
I mean, she's gonna succeed. So he tries to like grab you and throw you that way. You catch it and you just like grab his arm. And while you are surrounding him, you still just like basically pick him up, slam him back behind you, and slam him back down in front of you.
So she hulks him.
Yeah, she hulks him for a second. Oh.
Yes, you're really not getting out of this.
You ain't gonna make me talk.
Well, you're no use.
You can-
to
I'll tell you this. Old Rip's gonna get all your heads. He's the avatar of Mork.
No, wait, he's the avatar of Gork.
You don't even know what your name is all
Silgax,
about.
the avatar of Mork. Look, we don't get avatars very often, you know.
Clearly. Well, considering we killed to whoever that was, and it apparently made the rest of your friends run away in terror, do your gods like cowards?
I ain't no coward.
You would have run had I not turned you into blood. In fact,
Look,
you
I
just
ain't no
tried to run.
coward. He just
You
kind of
just tried
stops
to
for a
run right
second.
now.
You see the gears kind of like.
No, you're
I ain't
not
no
a
coward.
I don't run away from a fight.
You tried to run away, and then Grum hit you into the ground because you're an idiot.
I wasn't trying to run away. I was trying to get to a better advantage position. Or smart like Mork.
Grum, are all your tribesmen this dumb?
That's not her tribe.
I know, but I'm asking if her tribe's stupid.
I don't know. I don't know this guy.
Well, I'm asking, are yours as stupid as this one?
Again, like, are you for real, Hook?
I mean, this is pretty dumb. Look, he's not going to talk because clearly he doesn't know it.
Ooh, so can I kill him? Because I want some of his fingers.
Sithrak, how long do those?
I'm sorry, you cut out what?
How long do the wraiths of yours last?
It actually doesn't say here.
Is it an ability of your pact?
Yeah, what's ability of a hex blade?
Hexblade. I think
Let
it's
me
until you do another one.
Something like that. I can do
Or
it once
until
per
it-
long rest.
Or until it dies. Maybe I think it ends when you long rest. That might be what it is.
Let's take a look.
I can have it just sit here and
For-
life drain.
I was about to
now.
say, for now, we'll say that for the purposes of this, it'll last until the end of the day.
Oh, it says right here, it lasts until the end of your next long rest. It vanishes in the afterlife. And then you get the ability to use it again.
Yeah.
So basically, you can't do it right now because you already did it.
But he don't
There
need
you
to know
go.
that.
No, he don't. I'm just gonna look at Brudrin, Grum, and Sithrak and Shirak and go, he's yours. Do what you want him will. He clearly doesn't know anything. He's too dumb.
The slow, agonizing pain of a specter slowly life draining him.
Okay.
Let's send that specter after him.
Yeah, Horatio at this point's like, whatever.
They're just you're just holding him down and doing that.
I mean, Grum, you can cut its toes off, so he can't really run properly.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna tell to catalog
Like this toes.
and try to get what they can get together and head to the capital where my home is.
You will learn to fear time. As he's getting slowly life drained to death.
No, we really won't.
I'm
He-
just gonna.
He kind of fades and becomes like mummified husk orc.
Oh, I was gonna grab a finger from him.
Well, you can grab him while he's slowly being life drained.
Yeah.
It takes a while for this
Ah.
to suck the life from. So,
So yeah.
Put yourself somebody. Like I said, Horatio's gonna start like trying to organize what few left.
After a few moments of that, like of you life draining him, you see another small figure coming into the plaza again, all the guards immediately like turn their spears towards it because it's a tiny little goblin.
Is it garbage?
It's
Or is
got
it Wallow?
it's got the big fangs out. Just oh please. Oh, it's one of the guards is just like, oh, it's just you. Really,
Well,
really
Wallow,
now. Really now, Bo, was that really, really necessary? Hey,
Well, Wallow, you missed
call me.
quite the.
I told you for the last time, I'm Captain Boland.
I have such strange people in my town.
Right, I found his stupid notes. They're kind of singed. Mostly.
While this is going on, I'm assuming.
Grum's getting her trophy.
Eh.
I'm assuming she's gonna get a
Well,
trophy from the big one.
Yes.
Well, Wallow, you missed quite the interesting thing. These orcs not acting like orcs.
No, they're not.
There's a
No.
demon behind them.
A demon?
Well, apparently.
A demon or a
the-
devil? There's a big difference. Demons typically don't make any type of sense.
Who doesn't know?
I think it-
Go.
You think what?
I think it's probably more of a devil. The other weirdo was like a devil.
But the blood
That makes
tastes
more
weird,
sense.
and it tasted like the last time. So
They've encountered.
Devils tend to have more machinations than demons. Demons just do things for the hell of it.
So if you've collected your things,
You cut out
we
again.
have many more. I said you're welcome to come along. We have to deal with.
Oh, I suppose if you require my services, I could be obliged, although I feel perhaps it would be slightly wiser to send people to stop the other rampaging.
Well, yes, I've already got some organizing, but I need to get them to wherever the other rampaging problem.
What is this?
was apparent-
What is this ghastly paint on their bodies? Ugh. Such poor tacky taste.
You know, that paint was stopping us from hurting them.
It was what now?
Stopping us from hurting them.
How?
That
That-
is an excellent question.
That doesn't
which I
make
do
any
not
type
know.
of sense.
Nothing about this made any sense. That's
yeah,
the
I'll
problem.
just describe how like sometimes the first blow doesn't hit, and then the next few does. Heavy duty.
Grum,
rust-proof
I
paint.
would probably say that you would have heard of this because you guys have dealt, or like you have dealt with the savages before.
Mhm.
The savages, a lot of times, things just work because they think it works. So the
It's
paint
belief. It's
the paint is kind of magical. Like, you can sense bits of magic on it because it's mixed with, like, certain magical regions. But it shouldn't be doing that, and it's more just they think it works that way, so it does.
Okay, well, explain all that to Willow.
oh,
That's just
That's
it's
that's
faith.
that's dumb.
They work off of faith.
well, it's not. Done
That's
and
not
it's
really
working.
faith. That's,
Well, no, that's belief. It's just
I guess.
It's just not traditional divine. That is really strange. Brudrin, have you ever heard of this Sith Shirak? Have you?
Just some sort of abjuration.
That is really strange.
Like, you don't have to believe in an entity or a being. Sometimes just following your tenets is enough.
That's apparently what they're doing. Fantastic. Well, we need to get. We need to.
We need to
meet
get some of that paint. That's what we need.
How does that
It's only
say?
gonna work if we believe in it, Brudrin.
We
That's
just need to
Believe in
believe
it to
our-
the fanatical sense that they do.
yeah.
You know what? I'm actually gonna take my jar of lard.
Oh no.
I'm gonna dip my 2 fingers in. I'm gonna put some on my face, and I'm gonna be like screaming, "I believe!"
What the fuck are you doing, lad?
And then I'm gonna look at Grum and like, "Am I glowing?"
No, I was about to say, as you,
Uh,
I was about to say, go ahead and
And
try
they
to,
worried about you, Shirak.
go ahead and
I
try
want
to
be-
hit him. Maybe it'll
worried about-
deflect it.
Try to stab him. or what?
Grum, punch me!
I
are you
believe.
sure you want me to punch you?
Yes.
Because I'm not gonna be responsible for any broken nose.
Not
Horatios
too
is
hard.
like, I need
Not
to
too
see it.
hard.
I need to
Right.
see this.
Right here. Right here.
Again, Shirak, they were worried about you.
Okay. And I'm gonna try to punch him.
And just
then I'm
remember,
gonna close
they
my eyes
helped
and I'm gonna be
kill a
like-
god.
Punch him.
You
I
better believe.
believe.
Punch him.
I believe. I believe. I believe.
Punch him.
Why you needed my
Roll
help
it.
now?
Roll just unarmed attack, which is basically just a d20.
Plus your strength, plus your
I
proficiency
don't
bonus.
have just hit strength.
No, it's
Just
what's
hit
your-
strength. Just hit strength real
Yeah,
quick. It'll be fine.
It's gonna be really big.
So yeah,
There's
you
5
hit him
more-
and you deal 11
Yeah.
points of damage to his face.
Wait. Remember the video of the lady? She said the guy. He's telling this lady you have a force field, you have a force field, and she's going yeah. And this guy just comes straight running towards him and knock her ass down. Remember, like that fake cult was says, you know, if you have a force field, you can deflect everything.
So
And this,
so Brudrin, you hear this from behind you, and you all, the rest of you who are looking at Brudrin, kind of see him walking up around the corner. Horatio, you kind of recognize him. You don't know everyone in all of your provinces.
Yeah, no,
But you know
I know
the-
the weird ones.
You know the prominent people.
Yeah.
The smith of this town, you know, is a rather burly dwarf, but he's got a rather sour disposition towards other races. He'll work like for the coin, but he doesn't particularly like other people.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing, lad? You're embarrassing us.
Who, me?
What? I believe.
You fucking... What the fuck are you doing with griffin grease on your face?
That's
believe.
none of your concern.
It is my concern. You're making us look like a bunch of fucking twats.
No.
Hey now.
It was.
Right.
Excuse me. We were testing a theory that we had about some weird
We had a theory?
paint.
Wait, is
No,
this one of the guys?
You.
Is this one of the guys that's telling you
No,
the
this
story?
is the town's blacksmith. He's a little crotchety, I guess you could say.
I'm gonna put it to him and say, hey now, this man just saved your life. Give him some respect.
He ain't saved
And
nothing.
his griffin.
I had this. And he pats his hammer on the side. Nothing
Well,
a good
I
old
didn't see
dwarf.
I didn't see you fighting the big guy, so
Would you care to step
gonna
over to
look
me?
at
There.
I'm gonna look
Would you
at
care
him.
to step over to me shop? I've got a fuck ton of dead bodies there.
I'm gonna look at him and point as where he pointed at his hammer. I'm like, well, this was not there where the action was, so
you know what you should have done? You should have said, that's not a hammer, and then you put out yours. Oh no, you don't have a hammer. My bad.
Then he pulled out his penis.
I need.
This is
I don't know about you lads, but I need some mail.
Well,
See, now that
right,
sounds
yeah.
like great proper dwarf talk.
I've got my saber out to the side right now. I'm just staring this dwarf down.
No.
Who, me?
No.
If you guys are quite done, I managed to... Before all this was done, I managed to get a little bit of information from a wee little gobbo. Nasty little bastards.
Oh,
I think you would be most wanting of this information, Horatio.
Yes.
It appears they've got some, like, 4-odd armies attacking different cities. This one will regroup, of course, as orcs always do. Nasty bastards. But, next closest one. About half a day's travel down that way. There's a tiny little hamlet. Not too much in it. Of course you know about it, Horatio. It's where they keep all the nice vineyards.
That is the last thing I need happen.
yes, because Horatio needs his wine.
No, Horatio needs to keep his duchy making money. He has fees to pay, man.
They should be about a day and a half out from what the little gobbo said, as much as you can trust the little bastards.
Well, we're going to need to rest tonight. I can set up a little campsite here that nobody will get into. The rest of you head to the capital. Since you've got that information, what was his name? You don't remember if you mentioned it.
Maury.
Liars. Maury or Murray?
Maury.
Maury. You let Timothy, he should be setting a forward encampment near my home. Let him know about the other armies, okay?
He's at your
And
home, you
tell
said?
him he's at my home. And tell him he can give you 10 platinum for it. For the
Right,
info.
that sounds like a fair trade.
Gods escort him, make sure he makes it.
What, these weak lot? Could
Well,
barely
you
even
can
kill a
escort
fucking
them.
orc.
Well, then you can escort them. I would like them
See?
to also live.
That's why I'll put up with you. You understand.
It's all about management. I am a people person.
I cannot keep these accents straight. Fuck.
Alright, so this is probably a good spot for us to stop because it's
Yep,
almost
this is
9:45.
he does stop like 1 second beforehand. On the way there, you might want to stop. There's kind of a weird fellow. Could maybe provide some type of useful information about other goings on with these armies. Or about their leaders. Seems to have a knack of finding things. Believe his name was like Borit or something? Borson? I don't fucking know, I don't pay attention.
I'll keep an eye out.
The hooded figure finishes dusting himself off, comes over to you. Right, who was responsible for killing him?
I pointed at Grum.
Many
And
thanks.
Shirak. I'm
Many
like, "Those
thanks. My name is Darek. Should you require any assistance, it sounds like I will be heading to the capital, yes?
two." Yes, please. That's where I want everyone to...
Well, should you require any assistance, I do have quite a few reagents and other things from what I managed to save from my shop before I got turned into whatever the hell that was. Feel free to stop by. I do believe I have one here that might prove useful. A gift. And he hands out a parchment to Grum.
Ooh.
You take it. It seems to have a bunch of, like, weird arcane writing on it that you can't make any sense of.
Well, I can't read this shit.
What the fuck is this?
Let's see.
Horatio,
What is
you
nothing but scratches.
Horatio, you kind of like glance over at seeing this, and you kind of recognize it immediately because it looks very similar to scratchings that you've made. It's a scroll of teleportation.
That is handy. Grum, could I have that? That'll let us move around.
But he gave it to me, though.
I'll use it to get us nearer to the orcs.
Fine. Then I give it to him.
Or get us out of a situation.
I also, he kind of looks around, I also don't necessarily trust traveling by road. Maury? What do you want, you fucking twit? I'm helping you, shut up. Yeah, like I need your help. Everyone gather round, and he kind of like opens up another scroll. We'll be at the capital, and just
I have strange people who live in
Wallow's
my
just standing there.
Right. You wanted me to accompany you, yes?
Yes, please, Wallow. We could use the help from you and Gobbig, depending on which one of you is active
he has
at a given
made some
moment.
he has made some rather interesting new developments. It's rather
Well,
strange.
for now, though, I'm going to set up a little camp for us, and we need to rest, because that was quite the ordeal, and then we will get working on the next group.
Right. In case, feel free to make camp. I'll just be here tinkering until Garbig comes back.
Fair enough. I'm gonna perform Tiny Hut.
Alright, you make the tiny hut. Wallow's kind of inside it. Oh yes, this thing.
It works.
This always was a favorite of yours.
Well, it was either that or I break out the tower. I like having a giant tower right now.
This is also probably more secure.
Harder to break into, really. All right. And then I think... There we are. Good God. Savage
And
orcs.
that is where we shall end it, with them resting, preparing to go to the tiny vineyard, possibly stopping by Borson.
Bolson.
Borsol.
We picked up the best. We picked up the best Gabo.
Oh!
I am happy with the best
Good
Gabo.
gobble.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening, everybody. We will be rating someone momentarily. I do want to take this moment to thank everybody. And let's go ahead and go around the table and say what all you're doing. Clay, where can we find you?
You can find me at terminallynerdy.com or on Twitter at CBSA82, like it's. I'm not really doing anything particularly. I do have next week on the blog a post from Saverick, actually. He's going to review the narrative of Planescape Torment, and then either the week after or the last of 8 spells going up,
yes.
one of which I think Saverick has.
The Path of Exile
think-
spells.
Yeah, did you take Summon Raging Spirit?
I did.
Yeah, so you've got Summon Raging Spirit, and I've got Frost.
They are neat spells.
Yeah, but there's
Very
6
well.
others.
I was about to say, of course,
That's
I'm
neat.
one to talk. I just homebrewed a shit ton of orc spells.
You just homebrewed Warhammer Fantasy Orcs. God. The instant the foot came out, I'm like,
Oh,
what- okay.
no. Oh,
okay,
no.
That's what's happening. I was like, great, it's Gork and Mork. This is, and then the Savage Orcs. I'm like, at least they're not Boar Boys
Yet.
yet. That's all I
Gotta
need.
ease you into that shit.
I'm just waiting for the Black Orcs.
Oh, all
'Cause
right.
those are gonna be.
Craven Game, aka Big K. Where can we find you?
You can find me on the Twitter and also on Twitch at Craven Game, and also on YouTube. And videos here and there. Nothing too serious, but yeah. It was great.
He does
Can't
good
wait till
stuff.
next week.
He does awesome stuff. He's cool.
He puts me to shame.
I just have fancy lights, bro.
Saverick, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all at Saverick. You can find me Wednesdays over at the Thread Raiders channel with Tim Breas with the Yardall. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Yardall!
Find me here now, apparently. And on Saturday, you'll find us over at Planescape MOB.
You'll also find Clay there.
That's Saturday. Yes, that's the Saturday.
As you will find... Yeah, everyone but Big K.
Sad.
Sad day.
I didn't get invited.
Goodness.
Yeah, you did. You said you couldn't make Saturday. I don't even try. You lie! And I know you lie!
He lies! Now...
Why you always lying? Why the fuck you lying?
Now, Grum.
Oh my god!
Or should I say Mango
Stop
Man?
fucking lying!
You can't find me nowhere.
That is a lie! A damnable lie! You can find her...
Nowhere.
You can find her in my Discord, in Clay's Discord. And that's pretty much it. So it's only half lie.
Yes.
She quietly watches, judging everybody.
Waiting for the void to be
I
summoned.
just work. I'm a worker. That's all I am.
You wait for the void to be summoned.
Yes.
She also did the artwork for my profile. So,
Yes.
Which is amazing. She also did the artwork for my Mecha May, which I am very, very thankful for. You need to hurry up and start accepting commissions so I can pay you.
There you go.
But yes, thank you so much, everybody. And we will be back on Sunday here with more Neo, because I want to play Neo.
And on Saturday, most of us will be over on playing
Savrix,
where we get to watch Virus after he of pain. Thank you.
I'm probably either going to die or get brutally maimed. One of the two. Who knows?
So it's time for the charts. The charts.
Keep gaming, everybody.